after. So karma has been classified into, there are four kinds of karma and three qualities to it. So what are the four kinds of karma? There is what is called sabija karma, which means the karma that accumulates lifetime to lifetime. And if it is all released simultaneously into a human body, you will fry on the spot. You can't take it. So that is the karma that, and it is like the storehouse. It is a vast cosmic storehouse where it is constantly stored. And all the actions that we are doing at the moment, the karmic consequence keeps going back into our sabija, into our seed karma. Then there is prarabdha karma, which is the most important aspect of prarabdha. Prarabdha means karma already in action, or karma already manifest. And that is what makes us take birth. That is what determines span of life. I'll explain all of this in a little bit more. Then there is Purushartha karma. Every action that we do is Purushartha karma. But what is the problem with Purushartha? That every action we do has a consequence. What is the wonderful aspect of Purushartha? Every action we do has a consequence. So we can have wise actions which will have wise consequences or beneficial consequences. And then there is Agami karma. Agami karma is a karma that is not yet manifested in life, but we are doing things, it is getting stored. And it keeps getting sent back, sent back, sent back. Yeah, and karma operates in three ways. Karma operates drida, adrida, drida, adrida. Drida means firm, hard, fast. That is the niyati aspect of karma. Certain things operate, you cannot duck that bullet, you cannot sidestep that. It has to be firm and hard karma. Certain experiences in life, you come ready to face those tragic or non-tragic. Drida karma always doesn't have to be unpleasant. It can be pleasant also. Yeah? Drida karma. So usually who you get married to is a Drida karma. Yeah. Who you get married to is usually a Drida karma. It's not something that you can sidestep. Then there is karma that is very easily and very fluid. It is very, what shall we say?
Slippery.
It is liquid, slippery, yes. It's adrida karma.
Slimy.
Non, huh?
Slimy.
Slimy is more, वो stickiness होता है. Karma has a sticky aspect. When I come into how karma creates the human body and we reincarnate, then we'll explain the stickiness aspect is very important. And then there is karma which is neither hard nor fast. Drida, adrida. Medium. Plateau level karma. You can take a choice in that. Now, all karmas can be bypassed. Your sabija karma you can burn. That is what you do in sadhana. When you do sadhana, your entire lifetime store of karma you can burn. You can come to a mental state of awareness where there is no karmic consequence to the actions that you are taking. Your purushartha is completely free. You are completely encased in a bubble and your karma has no consequence anymore. That is the state of being Jivan Mukta. Where now any action that you take does not have any consequence, it does not have any stickiness, it does not have any addition, and you can burn up your future karmas also. But prarabdha is something once activated, once prarabdha activates, it has to run its course. Now how prarabdha activates, it usually runs in periods of 20 years. Now all this is yogic experience. Usually prarabdha runs in 20-year packets. In between you might have akala mrityu and things like that. But how prarabdha runs, the karma that is already in motion, it runs in 20-year packets. A normal lifetime has 4 to 5 packets of prarabdha, which means 80 to 100 years. That is a normal human life. And that used to be in the Vedas very clearly written, man lives for 116 years. That should be the target. Everybody should target to live in a healthy manner for 116 years, because that much time it takes to build the energy up and become enlightened or liberated. But it runs in these packets of, usually it runs in these packets of 20 years. Very interesting. Every time one packet of prarabdha is finished and the next is about to start, there is a 3-day gap where karma is not in operation. And if you're really aware, you can drop your body at that time. If you're really aware, you can just escape There's always a 3-day escape pattern, that 3-day escape. Most people are not aware. Most people are not aware. Once agriculture and all was invented, up to about 400 years back, human lifespan was very poor. Average life expectancy was 40, 45 years. It's only now that we are coming back to a more natural rhythm. 80 to 100 years is quite feasible. It's quite feasible, quite natural and normal. 5 packets of prarabdha to be worked out. Now, how you work it out, of course, with your purushartha, and how you work it out with awareness is what matters. Now we get into the deeper thing. So when the prarabdha is running, that time frame has to be completed. Before that, you can't even die. Even if a building falls on you, you'll merely get injured. But if the prarabdha is not exhausted, you won't die. And you cannot consciously burn up your prarabdha. That is not possible. You can burn up all other forms of karma. You can burn up your agami karma. You can make sure that your purushartha has no consequence. You can make sure that your sabija karma, your entire karmic stock is burnt up. It will never again come into fruition. But you cannot do anything about your prarabdha. Yes. Suppose you have awakened, you have become enlightened, liberated, your prarabdha is going to make you 100 years old, but you are tired. You are now coming close to 60 or 80 and you want to drop it, you can drop it. I told you, 3 days gap. So consciously the yogis can drop it, and they always drop it in that 3-day gap. When they take samadhi on their own, they drop it in those 3 days. That is, of course, a very complex technical process. It means complete understanding of how food gets converted into blood and flesh, and you need to be able to manipulate the prana. That is a very complex process. But theoretically, it is possible. It's possible to know the prarabdha is running out. Now, karma is again many types. You can have individual karma, you can have familial karma, you can have social karma, you can have organizational karma, you can have societal, entire societies. So very often we get caught in a larger community karma. People running Boston Marathon, they're just standing over there, suddenly a bomb goes off. It's not because their karma brought them to that point, not necessarily. It could just be that there was a sort of black energy loop. Social karma at that moment was bad and you got caught. That is the whole notion of akala mrityu. Before your prarabdha, sometimes you can die. Because certain social karma activated in a way. Somebody intervened, whether consciously or unconsciously. When you commit suicide, that is usually akala mrityu. Nobody commits suicide because the prarabdha is run out. That is usually only one exception. One exception is when the Jain monks, they do something. Because they understand that, since every action has consequence, they take it to the logical end and they starve themselves to death. Yeah, they just stop eating salle khana. It's very famous. No? They still do it. Aajkal bhi karte hain. They starve themselves to death. They are the only people who consciously choose it. But most suicide is akala mrityu. But please understand that everything is not in your hand. You might be functioning perfectly, but because your environment or your family or your society is in a certain stage of karma, certain things might happen to you that would not otherwise have happened in a normal circumstance.